The caveman mindset will kill your approach anxiety. This past weekend, I was at the bar talking to some guys because I got there early, just trying to kill some time, meet some new people, waiting for some girls to come around. And lo and behold, two beautiful girls walk into the bar. I asked the guy next to me, I said, yo, you want to go talk to them? He said no, so I immediately just left him, went up to the girls, asked the one that I liked her name, and then asked her friend her name, and ended up spending the rest of the night hanging out with them and bringing the girl that I liked home back to my hotel. This is what the caveman mindset will do for you. It prioritizes action over everything else, and it will kill every single one of your limiting beliefs and negative thoughts that hold you back from having any kind of success. I'm going to be breaking down how you develop this mindset in this video. Now, how do you actually apply this mindset? Well, it really just comes down to thinking like a caveman would and dumbing yourself down a little bit, because if you're like my younger self, you probably struggle from limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, overthinking. These are going to be the things that hold you back more than anything else, and you're probably rejecting yourself before girls ever get a chance to. So when I go up to a girl, I'll just ask her her name. It is so simple. This is kind of that caveman aspect of it where it's like, this is what I'll say to 90% of the girls I'll meet. I'll just go up to them and say, excuse me, what is your name? Or if there's already eye contact, I'll just start with, what is your name? It's that simple, and I see if the conversation goes well. If it does, like on Friday, I'll spend the night with a girl and take it as far as I want to take it. And if it doesn't go well, I'll ask a couple questions, see if there's any reciprocity, if there's any vibe. If there's not, then I'll just say, well, it was a pleasure to meet you, have a good night, and I'll leave with my respect intact. That is the caveman mindset in its essence. It is kind of dumbing things down, going for what you want, prioritizing action, and not letting your thought in your mind be your enemy like it was for me for the first 19 years of my life. And boys, if you want to learn how to start and have great conversations beyond just the what's your name approach on what to actually talk about, different openers for different situations, I created a full conversation mastery guide that will help you achieve exactly that. And that's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. So the first tenet that will make this mindset possible is action over everything. I cannot describe how important this is. See, as my personal brand has grown and my coaching business as well, I have taken a lot of sales calls and evaluated people's current situation. And the one thing that I notice across a lot of people who are not succeeding socially or with girls is that they're not taking any action. And the one thing that I see with my coaching clients who do go on to be successful is that they are taking action. If you come in and you don't take any of the action steps I give you, there's no amount of money you can pay me that will make me able to change your life. You have to take action. That is so, so important. You can get all the results you want from just watching these videos if you were to take consistent action. That's the one thing that changed for me at 19, was I was consuming content from creators who were further ahead than me. But the one key thing that I did, which I'm seeing that a lot of other people aren't doing, is I was tenacious in taking action. I started going out and talking to girls at the gym, at the beach, in nightlife. I was going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Florida, Friday, Saturday when I was in Sweden. And I was just talking to as many girls as possible, practicing my social skills with everybody, with guys, just really trying to level up in as many ways as I could. I was doing all the self-development stuff that I learned from Hamza, doing gratitude journaling, meditation, reading. These are things I've stayed consistent with to this day. And action is that one key thing that's allowed me to have all this success, and what's allowed my successful coaching clients to have success too. It's that one thing that I see that people are not doing who don't have successes. They're not taking action. You can do the self-improvement. You can have the most successful career. You can have a great body, and you can even be extremely handsome. But if you're not putting yourself out there, you're not going to have success. And that was kind of the situation that I was in when I was younger. Was I was a pretty good looking kid. I had lean abs, but I never took action, never put myself out there, never talked to any girls. And that's why I didn't have success. So this is what the caveman mindset solves by prioritizing action over everything else. And the second tenet that will allow you to make this caveman mindset possible is accepting that your negative thoughts and limiting beliefs are not truth. They are just thoughts. They're just something that crosses your mind. It is literally the same thing as just taking a breath of air. There is nothing different between a thought coming into your mind saying, you're short, you can't talk to that girl, Seb, and it's just a temporary, momentary experience that you are going through. A breath or a thought, it's the same exact thing. There's nothing different between them. And if you can allow yourself to let go of your negative thoughts and limiting beliefs the same way that you just breathe and let go of your breath. That's the practice of meditation, is taking a breath, inhaling, exhaling, letting go of it, and not identifying with anything. And when you practice that with your negative thoughts and limiting beliefs in action, when you're actually talking to girls, when you have them arise, that's the practice of meditation in real life. That's when you're really, really starting to conquer your mind. See, you're conquering your mind with meditation when you're in bed or in your couch doing it, but it's not to the degree that gives you the real life experience and makes you truly fearless and confident to the degree that you could be if you were out there practicing when you have the limiting beliefs and the negative thoughts arising and you start to feel that anxiety and that nervousness and you act anyway and you practice and you tell yourself, you know what? This thought is not truth. I may be short, but I can still get that girl. And you go and do it anyway and you get her and then you disprove the belief, the negative belief that you have. See, that was the thing that held me back for so long when I was younger, was I was allowing those beliefs to control my life, to control my mind and my actions, where there was a certain point when I decided that I was no longer going to let my negative beliefs or thoughts control my life anymore. And even if I do have one that's very, very convincing, I'll still just say, okay, this is just a negative belief. It's not truth. There's some that are really, really convincing. I can give story after story that I've gone through that I've actually gone to disprove. And this has built so much confidence in the fact that I can control my mind, I can control my reality and do anything that I want in this life. And it all comes from taking action even when you are fearful and doubtful and your mind is not on your side. This is how you eventually will conquer your mind and be in complete unison with your goals. So your mind will be working for you, saying, Seb, you can get that girl, don't you worry. There's nothing you can't do. Now I want to talk about how this has changed my life. And this is going to be a little bit beyond just the cold approaching, because yes, it absolutely changed my life when I wanted to talk to new girls. I talk to new girls all of the time with ease. It is not something that I really struggle with at all. Hanging around girls is my comfort zone now. This is a massive improvement from being someone who literally, when I met a girl at 19 at the club, the first time I ever went out by myself, I went back to her house, had terrible anxiety, and for the next 5 times that I saw her, had so much anxiety to the point where I couldn't eat. So that was my starting point when I was really a social hermit, when I panicked and closed up and I moved to a new city for the first time ever all by myself with my family, and I was just terrified socially. I've overcome a lot in my journey. See, I have a unique journey. Some people say like, oh, it's not that scary to talk to new people or go out by myself, but that wasn't my journey. So for me, this is massive improvement to be able to hang around girls and have that genuinely be my comfort zone, the same way that I could, sit on a couch with my best friend or by myself or with my family and have the same level of comfort around them. So for me, that's one of the massive things that it's changed. And I feel this way in pretty much every degree of interaction with girls, whether I'm just meeting them, like introducing myself, or if I'm hanging around them casually, or if I'm sleeping with them and they've come back to my hotel. I'm very, very comfortable with girls at every stage of the encounter. So this is the first and biggest thing that I would say that has changed my life, but it's gone so much further than that in showing me that action will give you everything that you want in this life. And it's allowed me to cultivate self-belief. And these are two things that I think have been a huge catalyst for the success I've had in my life in general, because I remember after getting with maybe like 8 to 10 girls, I started to really overcome a lot of those negative thoughts and limiting beliefs and start to really accept everything that I've been preaching in this video. It wasn't like it happened all at once. It was a little bit of a journey. And that was when I said, okay, well, I haven't been making money. I don't really know how to make money, but let's take on a sales job. And I was kind of shit, but then I, understood the journey I went through, and I was like, okay, well, let me just take some more action and read some books, get a mentorship. And then I was able to come back to my second job and have a little more success. And the third one actually, have some good success. I think I made like $1,000 a week, maybe a little more. I think my best week was like 2,000. I was all excited about it. I thought I was the man. But that was like a huge win for me, was, conquering a new area of life and a new skill. And then the next thing I did was I went on to start a successful sales mentorship business. And that made me a bunch of money. And I was making 8 to 15K a month. And it was crazy. And there was, some days, I remember one day I made like $2,000. A week I did 5K. This was a huge source of confidence. And these things only came because I first started to conquer my mind through women. Overcoming some of your fears in one area of life can allow you to tackle it in another. So if you're anything like me, this video is very clearly titled, the Caveman Mindset will kill your approach anxiety. if you have anxiety in life, if you're scared to talk to girls, if you're scared to interact with the world, overcoming this will allow you to start to take on life in a new manner, which you otherwise would have never done. See, I tried so many different businesses when I was younger, but I failed miserably because I never really had the self-belief that I needed in order to succeed. I never had the confidence, I never had the courage, and when I developed it through girls by talking to every attractive girl I saw, even when I was extremely scared and fearful, when I started going out to meet people in nightlife, like I mentioned, I was really a shy, anxious kid growing up. I was I was really struggling at 19 when I left my hometown and just had my really close friend group who I'd been hanging out with. That's not pushing yourself socially. Once you've made a friend into your comfort zone, you hang out with your friend, but it's not like you're good socially. And that was a big mistake that I didn't really understand, was like, yeah, I'm comfortable around one or two people, but that doesn't mean I'm comfortable around anyone else. So when I left that town, it really hit me hard. And overcoming this huge area of my life and developing the social skills necessary to succeed anywhere in the world, I can go to any place and make someone like me. That's a huge source of confidence, especially in the journey that I've been on. Having gotten with so many girls and learning these skills necessary in every stage of the interaction, from first talking to them, building the rapport, really making them like you and building that attraction, then bringing them home if you want to do that, or going on to have dates and whatever else. That is also a huge source of confidence for me. So conquering this one area of my life allowed me to have this snowball effect where I started to conquer other areas of my life and have an upward spiral that's allowed me to be more and more successful with all areas, socially, business-wise, mindset, lifestyle. Everything's gotten better because of this action-based mindset and self-belief that I've been able to cultivate. So boys, once again, if you want to start getting on this journey, you need to learn how to start and have great conversations. So I put together a conversation mastery guide for you guys that's going to allow you to absolutely conquer socially. It's going to give you every single intro that you can use in different situations and how to actually continue and carry that conversation with ease. So that's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. You can grab that now.